Before we get stuck into the episode, a little plea from me, if I may. I know that we have some awesome and loyal listeners of the show. I can see it in the stats. So thank you so much for listening to the show. My plea is for you to please hit that subscribe button, to like and rate the show, whichever platform you're on. It would mean so much to me. I know this is something that all podcasters are asking for, but it really does make a difference and it would mean a lot to me. So thank you in advance. On with the show. Hello and welcome to Beyond the Bio. Stay tuned this week to learn all about personal websites. What is one? Why should you have one? What should be in it? What are the benefits? Let's get stuck in. First up, what is a personal website? Well, a personal website is a website that is in your name. I have my own personal website, which is www.sophiemillican.co.uk. And the thing with the personal website is that it is so handy to have it to store lots of stuff that can't really sit on your company website. I see the personal website as being somewhere that houses all of your different interests, and it will have a link to the business, but it is going to position you better for things like media opportunities and also the biggie, speaking engagements. One of the objections that I sometimes hear around personal websites is that thought around, is it for me? Do I need a personal website? I'm not a celebrity, or I don't have loads of followers. I'm not known for speaking, and all these reasons why you shouldn't have one. And the reality is, if you are trying to be more visible and looking to secure more opportunities, why would you not have one? Because it really will help to position you effectively, professionally, give you that authority, and you can improve on it because, I'll talk you through mine, but you will always be adding to it. There's always things that are going to need updating as you progress throughout your career or with your business, and you're becoming more visible and you do more media and you're creating more content. There will be things that you can improve with your website, but you've got to start somewhere, and you could just have a very simple one page that is perhaps a couple of action shots of you speaking, your bio, and a little bit about how to book you. So it could just be a very simple one-page website. And then as you get more confident, get more bookings, have more stuff to put on there, that's what you do. And it grows alongside you. A personal website will help you to build your brand. It makes it easy for your audience to find and get to know you. It showcases the knowledge and the expertise that you've gained over your career and positions you as an expert in your field. It's a great place to host media you're featured in, any award recognition, podcasts, blogs, case studies, that kind of thing. But I think the real power of it is to be able to introduce you as a speaker and open up that alternative income stream through paid speaking engagements. These days, so many people want to do speaking, and you have to have the assets in place to position yourself effectively to be a speaker. I often speak to people who tell me that they would love to earn thousands of pounds for each speaking engagement, and that is completely achievable. It's something I've been able to do. It's something many of our clients do, but you need to have those assets in place. I spoke before on a previous episode about having a speaker kit and what should go into that. A speaker kit is something that you would send out to an organizer, whether you were pitching to speak in an event or you've been approached to speak at an event and you're sending something through that looks really slick. The episode I did on speaker kits, we'll make sure that there's a link to that in the show notes. But you need to have these kind of things to position yourself effectively and to put yourself forward very professionally in this space. The speaker kit has things like your headshots, your bios, an outline of your talks. It might include your fee if you want to include that within that. And the personal website is just taking that an extra step further. Let me talk you through my website as an example. So when I click through onto my homepage, There's a snazzy picture of me looking actually a bit like I'm doing a speech at a wedding or maybe singing on karaoke. Probably should update that picture. But it is a clear picture of me. It's a picture of me speaking at an event. It's got my strapline, award-winning entrepreneur, speaker, author, chair and investor, positioning me very clearly in terms of what I do and what my interests are. Underneath that, I've got links to all of the media that I've done. So when I've been on TV, the radio, in the press and media, links to all of those appearances. And you can actually just click through onto each of them to see that particular appearance. I then have a little bit about me, so it's my longer bio that I've got in this section. Underneath that, I have the awards that I've won. So again, you can just click on the image and it will take you through to the relevant award. Below that, I have the books that I've written, some nice images, and you can click through to buy the books as well, and a little bit of information about each book. Then underneath that, I have some information about Moja, the business that I own and run. Right at the bottom, I have my TEDx talk, so a link through to my TEDx. And this is really handy to be able to have this because this essentially acts as my speaker reel. So, if anyone's wanting to book me to speak, they can see me in action in that video clip. So that's everything on the home page. I then have other tabs along the top. So on the speaking page, there's another link to various things that I've been on, podcasts I've been on, articles that I've been in, etc. And there's some great testimonials of events that I've spoken at, so you can see what you'll get if you book me to speak at an event. I then have all of the speaking topics that I'm currently doing that are in my toolkit. So that helps to bring to life what someone might get if they're booking me to speak at their event. So there's different topics and then a couple of different talk outlines for each of those topics. And then again, there are more testimonials along there and another link to the podcast. And then all the way dotted through, you've got the Book Sophie Now, which just takes people to that page to be able to explore booking me for an event. And then what I have on my form, so this is a really important bit, is to ask for lots of relevant information in the form. I ask for their contact details and also which topic they would like me to speak about, who the audience is going to be, if the event is in person or whether it's online, if it's in person to specify the location, a bit of detail about the session, so how long is it going to be, what is the approximate size of the audience, what are the aims and outcomes of the talk. And also a really important question if you're looking to build your speaking career, what is your approximate budget? Because you don't want to be speaking for free if you are looking at this as an additional revenue stream, because it's not sustainable. It takes a long time to prepare and deliver a great talk. And if you're having to travel halfway around the country to do so, then you've got to factor all of that in as well. So I find that having this question in this form is actually a really great way to sift out any opportunities that actually you don't want to take, but also just to make sure that their expectations are on a similar level to yours. At the bottom, I've then got any other information that you'd like to let us know. And when people fill this form in, it goes through to our admin box here at Moja, and then Rachel or somebody will see what they've said and decide how to respond and whether to take the opportunity forward. So that is the speaking page. I then have a tab for the Beyond the Bio podcast. And on this page, it's got a little bit about the podcast, takes people through to the show, and also has my podcast guest form hosted on there as well, which is handy. So we get a reasonable number of requests through to be on the show as well. I then have a couple of social icons so people can connect with me. And that brings the whole website together. I really like my website. I think it's really cool. I think it looks smart. It looks professional. It definitely helps us to attract clients. It definitely helps to secure speaking engagements. And in fact, whenever I am booked to speak by someone that I've not come across before, who I haven't met at a previous event or don't know through my network, we always ask them, how did you hear about me? And quite often we will get inquiries from people that have literally Googled something like inspirational female speaker and my name pops up, which is pretty cool actually, to be honest. So there must be some good SEO on our site. And these have been good quality paid speaking opportunities. So it definitely works. And I think having this and then also having your speaker kit alongside it means that you are literally ready to go when someone approaches you to speak at an event, because you've got assets that position you as an authority, as a speaker. So these are definitely things that I would encourage you to get set up. But you might be thinking, I've got no idea how to build a website. I'm no tech expert. Well, you don't need to be. You could outsource it, and you could use a company like Moja to build your personal website, or you can have a go yourself. It doesn't have to be all singing and all dancing. It's got to look professional. But there are many website builders out there varying in degrees of difficulty and price that you can choose from. So things like Wix, WordPress, Squarespace. If you've got no interest in coding and want a ready-made template that you can easily customize, then Squarespace is great for that, because it is very intuitive and very easy to use. It doesn't have tons of functionality, but you don't need it for a project like this. Even I can use Squarespace, so it must be easy. But like I say, if the thought fills you with dread, get someone else to build it. It really shouldn't cost megabucks. And once you've built and published your website, you then need to get it onto Google. And I don't mean 4 or 5 pages in. It's got to be on page 1. It's got to be right up there when someone's Googling your name. And that's another great reason to have a personal website, because if people are Googling your name, that's what you want to pop up, and that will help with your own SEO. So if you were to pop my name into Google, you will find that my website does feature quite highly. So it's, again, another reason to do it. In terms of SEO, it is a bit of a minefield, but thankfully, there's lots of information out there about SEO and how to improve it, including things like keywords, backlinks, and page optimization. And I had Andrew Armitage on the show a few months ago now talking about SEO, and he gave some great tips. So we'll make sure that there's a link to that episode in the show notes as well. Definitely check out that episode. And if SEO fills you with fear and keywords are making your head spin, at the very least, get familiar with the basics of optimizing your site for search engines through Google's Search Console. It'll measure your site's search traffic and performance, highlight any issues that you need to fix, and shine a spotlight on your site in Google search results. All of this is going to help you with your ranking on that first page of Google. So really, really important to invest a bit of time and energy in this. So there we have it, bit of a whistle-stop tour into personal websites there. I hope that I've convinced you to explore creating your own. I think they're really cool. I'll pop a link to mine in the show notes so you can have a little look at one that we've created here. And as well, it may give you some inspiration to create your own and put whatever you want to promote on there and share the speaking topics that you feel most confident in. As always, let me know how you get on, and I will see you next week. Thank you for listening. If you're serious about growing your profile, take our free profile assessment quiz to see where you're at right now and get hints and tips on how to improve your score. You'll find the link to the quiz in the show notes. If you've enjoyed the episode, it would be mint if you'd subscribe, like, and leave a review. See you next Monday.